Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, January 26th. My name is Evan. Welcome back to another midweek stock market update. Typically, we're spending some time looking at individual trade ideas in this video series, but today, with all the action going on, I want to spend some time looking at the market environment and some individual sectors. And of course, we just had the Fed come out and release some of their latest statements here. It does look like we're greenlit for a rate hike in March and potentially, stopping of asset purchases or slowing down of asset purchases come March. So some of that data just hit the tape. I'm recording this about 20 minutes after the announcement here. So let's jump into some of these charts and we're going to take a look at some of this recent price action here. And as always, though, these video series are sponsored by our partners over at Investors Business Daily. If you're looking for ways to find curated growth stocks and vetted leaders in the market, check out the link in the description of this video. Help you get access to some of those stock lists that IBD is curating every single week. Now, if we take a look here at the action of the past, let's call it month, of course, we know we have been in a very strong downtrend here. In fact, you can see now the S&P 500 basically had about a 12% correction from high to low here throughout the course of this year. So that's a 12% drawdown. That was the largest drawdown. We didn't see one of those in 2020. So we basically came into this year with a bang. And if we were to throw on Bollinger Bands here, you can also this illustrates sort of the action that's been unfolding here is we have been over the past 4 days now closing consecutively underneath the 2 and 20. This is the 21 Bollinger Band, but basically we've been closing underneath here. So that means volatility is expanding and momentum is just accelerating, picking up to the downside. And in fact, the last 2 days, so Monday and Tuesday of this week, we were essentially trading entirely below the lower 2 and 21 Bollinger Band. That doesn't happen often. That only happens in the extreme downtrends where you really get, enough stretch here, enough fear in the market to sort of leave the Bollinger Band here. But that's basically been the case. And now, of course, if we zoom into today's action, you can see we are getting a change of character here. We're finally starting to breathe just a little bit to the upside. So we had this inside day yesterday, and now we're starting to clear above these 2-day highs. And so this is if you're a short-term trader here looking for repair in the market, looking for maybe a momentum snapback, this is the line here. And it looks like the market has been battling right here for most of today, right around 440, let's call it, in the SPY ETF. That's what you really want to see this market stay above or hold above today going into the close, because that's going to show you that at least price can now hold above the past 2-day highs where we really had some panic kind of selling and just some extreme price action. And so, that is kind of the big takeaway I would say from today is a victory for the bulls in the short term would be a close over 440. That also coincides with the first break of this downtrend that we have seen here over the past 2 weeks of trading, is this steep downtrend that we've had, and we're finally starting to get back over it. If we also zoom out, you can see that this is occurring, or this is all sort of happening here as the market briefly undercut the October lows. So we had the lows down here around 427, and we spent some time undercutting them on Monday of this week and then testing them Tuesday, which was yesterday's session. So you've got this setup here where, at least in the short term, you've got this technical kind of washout. We closed, again, below those Bollinger Bands, extreme downtrend, 12% in pretty much a straight line, retested support, undercut some big support, and now we're starting to snap back here. So for me, this is pretty, it's pretty extreme behavior, but it's pretty textbook behavior in the sense of how price really unwound here, tested a big level, snapped back from it, and now we're on deck to measure and map how much we can actually bounce here. I mean, a move back up into the 450s doesn't seem that crazy, given, we were down 12% in a straight line. So that is really the analysis there on the SPY. You can kind of take it down the line here, the Qs. I mean, everything is a bit different here. You know, the Qs kind of came slamming back down into the old April highs here, the 340s, and undercut the October lows as well. You can see price is right back to those October lows right now as well. So that's kind of the setup we've seen across the board. I wanted to spend a little bit of time just looking at the sectors here. So if you look on the left, I've got these 3 trend columns on these watch lists, and those trends coincide with the usual, our custom smart trend filter that we talk about on weekends. So on our Friday video series, so that measures price and volume across time. And so if we look here at the sectors, you can see basically that everything is still very much in the red except for energy. Energy has been green, but recently turned yellow. But that basically says, and the same thing for the indices, everything's in bearish trend right now. But if we were to throw down to, let's say, a 4-hour chart, all of these columns should update dynamically. And so here you go. This gives us a little more sort of granularity at what's starting to lead and what's, you know, acting a little bit better than the others. And so this is now a 4-hour trend that we are measuring. And you can see that, for instance, the Dow and the IWM, surprisingly, is actually in neutral. So you can see, again, let's go to our smart trend filter view, 4-hour chart on the Dow. You can see it's starting to now just poke its head above trend. Same thing with the IWM. It's not quite over the trend right now, but it's starting to test it. And then you can see the SPY and the Qs are still the weakest. If we go down to the sectors, you've got energy, which again now is bullish here on the 4-hour time frame, but you've got things that are starting to act better, like real estate and like financials and like industrials and technology. And last but not least, discretionary, starting to act a little bit better. So this is little context when you drill a little deeper here and look at these shorter term trends. We can take it one step further and go to the 2-hour chart. And when you go to the 2-hour chart, once again, now you're getting a little bit tighter and you're zooming in that microscope a little bit more. And you've now got improvement where the Dow has turned bullish here on this 2-hour chart. Same thing with the Russell. And if we go down this list, it's a lot of the same kind of names we just looked at. Energy's bullish, real estate on a 2-hour, financial starting to flip up here, biotech getting its flip up here right now, kind of printing its first little 2-hour buy signal there. XLK. So as we sort of think about this, what we're essentially looking for here is confirmation and reversals of this short-term price movement. Prices always are going to reverse in the very small time frames first, right? It just makes sense. A 1-minute chart to a 5-minute chart to a 30-minute chart to a 1-hour chart. All these trends start to turn up and at the tight level, and then they start to expand to the higher level. So hopefully this was, you know, at least a little bit insightful here at some things to look for today. Let's see how the S&P 500 closes. Let's see if it can actually get back over and hold above this 240, which would be a break of this downtrend and a close over the two-day highs. And then we can look for some of these smaller trends to start to resume to the upside. So that's the insight I wanted to bring here today. A little overview of just the market action, Bollinger Bands, and some of the individual sectors. Hopefully you're navigating this okay and in one piece. It's been a tough month out there. So hopefully everyone is still gathered and together. If you have any thoughts, comments on this market as we roll in throughout this week and go into the last week of the year, of the month, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And as always, if you like these videos every Wednesday, we're gonna do market updates like this, maybe a few more market updates of what's moving, less individual trade ideas, but I think it's always gonna depend on just really what's moving that session. So that's it for me. Thanks as always, and we'll see you back here on Friday. Actually, on Friday, I do have an announcement. I am gonna be traveling Friday, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a video out this weekend. So that is something I meant to mention at the top of the video. I might not have a Friday video out this week, but we'll see what I can do on the road. So that's it for me. Thanks so much and take care.